What cases can you sue for, and what cases can you not sue for? Hi, I'm Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States at our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. You know, filing lawsuits against USCIS and against the State Department are one of our favorite things to do. Just this week, we were able to get an asylum case approved for a fellow who'd been waiting for 7 years before he hired us to get his asylum case adjudicated, to finally get it decided. It ended up being approved, and we were really happy for him. And so a lot of people call our office wanting to sue about lots of different things, and I wanted to make this video to show you what's clear that you can sue over and the things that you sort of can't sue over. So when it comes to citizenship, there are sort of two case types. One is when cases have just been languishing forever, when no action's been taken, no interview's been scheduled. If a year's gone by, a year and a half's gone by, no interview, we can sue them for the delay in actually scheduling you for an interview. If there's been an interview on a citizenship case and 120 days have gone by since that interview, you can sue them right then and there and ask a judge to naturalize you. So that's a statutory provision that applies only to citizenship cases, and it's a really great tool in our toolbox. So on day 121, if 120 days, 4 months have gone by, you can go into court and file a suit. That's going to get your case decided very, very quickly. The government can't file a motion to dismiss on those. Well, I guess they could, but it wouldn't be well taken. So they can take action when you sue them, and they often do. So those kinds of lawsuits are really helpful. We also file lawsuits for green cards. So people who got their green card through asylum, or people who are waiting for their green card from a marriage-based petition or a family-based petition or an employment-based petition. We can sue on those kinds of cases, and those are really helpful, especially if there's been an interview. But we've sued to help people who've been waiting for their green card for 4 or 5 years. Similarly, we've sued for asylum delays. So right now, there is a long backlog of asylum cases. I heard it's over 1 million cases in the asylum pipeline, and some cases from 2015, 2016, 2017 still have not been interviewed, still have not been adjudicated. USCIS is not taking action on those, and the lawsuits work really well on those. We also file lots of lawsuits for overseas visa cases. This is where someone's trying to bring their spouse or a family member to the United States, or someone's trying to get a non-immigrant visa to the United States. We can sue the embassies to try to get a judge to compel action. Now on those, every now and then, we're seeing more motions to dismiss, but the lawsuit still works for the vast majority of people that sue the State Department for delays overseas. So those are the kinds of cases that we typically see lawsuits for: citizenship, green cards, asylum, immigrant visa cases, maybe non-immigrant visa cases. Those are the ones that we sue on the most. We also sue them a lot when they make a clear error in a decision. We sue them under the Administrative Procedures Act to try to get a decision reversed. The kinds of cases that you can't sue over there's two main ones. One is if your priority date is not current. A lawsuit will not work to try to get a priority date current. And what I mean by that is in the preference categories, either the employment cases or in the non-immediate relative cases. So the spouses of green card holders, the children of green card holders, the brothers and sisters of U.S. citizens, the adult children of U.S. citizens. There are a limit on the number of those visas available each year, and a lawsuit won't fix that. A lawsuit can't help you move your case faster. There are simply thousands and thousands of people in line ahead of you, and so a lawsuit wouldn't work on that kind of a case. The other kind of case is if your case was current and then it retrogressed. In other words, if the final action date now is years and years away, you can't do anything to make that go faster. That's just going to be the passage of time. That's going to be the new allotment of visas. Congress, frankly, hasn't fixed the number of visas available for decades, and that's the reason why we're seeing these long, long delays. There's no one in Congress really pushing to make these cases go faster, to make more visas available, and until they do, a lawsuit will not help on those kinds of cases. So basically, if you have a clear right to prompt action, if everything is current, then you can file a lawsuit. If you're in a queue or a waiting line or a preference category based on your case type, the lawsuit's not going to work to move those things forward. Now, if you have one of those case types and your priority date becomes current, so a lot of times we'll file lawsuits on brother and sister cases where their priority date became current a year and a half ago and the embassy's still screwing around and not issuing the visa. So lawsuits will work there if the priority date is current, but a lawsuit can't make a priority date current. You can't file a lawsuit if the priority date is not current. I learned this the hard way very, very early on in my career when I filed for a nurse whose priority date was not yet current, and so then I had to refund the money and dismiss the lawsuit. We ended up having to file a lawsuit later on when a priority date did become current, so it all worked out in the end. But that's what I want you to understand, is if your priority date is not current, a lawsuit is not going to help you. Hope this makes sense. Now listen, if you're thinking about hiring us to file a lawsuit on your behalf, we'd love to do it. It's our favorite thing to do, to help people who've been banging their head on the wall trying to get a decision from USCIS or the Asylum Office or the State Department, and to sort of make them decide the case by filing a lawsuit in federal court. You should give us a call, 314-961-8200. Email us, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. If you're just looking for free information, we have lots of resources for you. One is our Immigration Answer Show. That's a show that I do live 3 or 4 times a week, and you can get alerts for that. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel whenever we go live. In there, you'll get alerted to the show. Also in our Immigrant Home Facebook group, we'd love to have you there. There's hundreds and thousands of immigrants in there talking about the immigration process. We'd love to have you join us there. Also on TikTok, @ImmigrationHacking is my handle. Would love to see you follow us on TikTok. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.